Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your American host, no filters, no corporate media spin, no diplomatic nonsense, just real talk, hard numbers, and a whole lot of common sense. Today we're diving into something that honestly blew my mind when I first ran the numbers. We're talking about luxury cars, same brands, same models. But two markets that are literally right next to each other, mainland China and Taiwan province. And the difference in pricing, in treatment, and in consumer experience, it's not just a gap, it's a Grand Canyon-sized chasm. I'm not exaggerating when I say that foreign luxury automakers, Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, Tesla, all of them, they used to walk into mainland China with this arrogant, take it or leave it attitude. They acted like they were doing Chinese consumers a favor just by showing up. Well, guess what? That era is dead, completely dead. Prices have cratered, they've dropped the attitude. And now they're practically begging Chinese buyers to give them a second look. But flip the map over to Taiwan province. Same companies, same cars, but they're still acting like it's 1995 prices through the roof. Discounts a joke, and Taiwanese consumers are stuck with almost no leverage. As an American, I look at this and think, if this happened in the US, people would be furious. And they should be, so today, I'm walking you through the top 10 best-selling luxury vehicles in Taiwan for the first half of this year. And once you see these numbers side by side, you're going to understand exactly how badly Taiwanese buyers are getting ripped off. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with the Mercedes-Benz A180. Now in mainland China, the official manufacturer's suggested retail price is about $25,000 US. But here's the kicker, nobody. And I mean, nobody actually pays that. Dealerships have been in a race to the bottom. Early this year, the price dropped below $15,000, and in some cities right now, you can walk out the door with one for just over $12,000. $12,000 for a brand new Mercedes, that's less than what you'd pay for a fully loaded Toyota Camry here in the States. And I'm talking about the Camry, not even a luxury car. And even at that fire sale price, Chinese consumers are shrugging. They still don't think it's worth the money. They've got so many better options that a Mercedes at 12 grand is still a hard sell. Now, flip over to Taiwan, that exact same A180 over there. It's marketed as a prestigious German import. They treat it like royalty, like it's something special, price tag, 1,860,000 new Taiwan dollars. At today's exchange rate, that's almost $39,500 US. Let me say that again, $39,500, that's more than triple the mainland price. Triple in the US, if you saw the same car selling for triple the price in one state versus another. There would be congressional hearings, but in Taiwan, it's just accepted as normal. And I can already hear some of you in the comments, but wait, mainland cars are locally assembled. Taiwan gets pure German imports. Look, I get that argument 10 years ago. It might have held water, but we're in 2026 now. The reality is that the imported version isn't necessarily better. And in a lot of cases, it's actually worse in terms of features, build quality, and technology. The local assembly plants in China have been building Mercedes for years, and they've gotten really good at it. So Taiwanese buyers are paying a massive premium for a car that's arguably inferior. That's not a market, that's a trap. And this isn't just a Mercedes problem. BMW, Lexus, Tesla, almost their entire model lineups cost several times more in Taiwan than on the mainland. We're talking about the same global brands, the same global supply chains, but completely different pricing realities. It's like walking into two different stores, same product. Same manufacturer, but one store charges 3 times as much because they know you have nowhere else to go. That's not capitalism, that's a captive audience. So let's go through the list one by one. And I want you to really pay attention to the numbers because this is where it gets absolutely ridiculous. Coming in at number 10, the Volvo XC60. Taiwan price, $2,390,000 new Taiwan dollars, which translates to roughly $50,800 US. Now, because Taiwan's auto market is pretty closed off, it's protected, it's insular, there are high tariffs and regulatory barriers. There's almost no real competition among dealers. They've got this unspoken understanding, nobody undercuts, nobody starts a price war, it's like a cartel, but legal. So discounts are a complete joke. They might throw you a tiny 15,000 NT bone, that's about $470 US, and call it a day. Final out the door price, 2,240,000 NT, which is 47,600 USD. Now let's look at mainland China. The equivalent B5 all-wheel drive luxury version has an official sticker price of 36,600 US. That's already an $11,000 difference right off the bat. But here's the thing, that's just the sticker. In reality, walk into a dealership in most Chinese cities, and they'll quietly offer you 23,000 or even less. And if you go to places like Guangzhou in Fujian province, with local government subsidies and financing incentives, you can get it for just over 19,000 US dollars. Do the math with me. That's a $28,000 gap between Taiwan and the mainland. $28,000. That's not pocket change. That's enough to buy a whole separate car. In fact, in mainland China, that difference could get you an Audi A540 Quattro, which is a seriously nice ride. And guess what? That exact same Audi A5 in Taiwan costs 2,580,000 NT. That's 54,900 USD. So Taiwanese buyers are essentially paying for a whole extra luxury car and getting absolutely nothing in return. As an American, I look at that and think, if that happened here, people would be rioting outside dealerships. I'm talking about protests, class action lawsuits, the whole 9 yards. But in Taiwan, it's just accepted as normal. That's crazy to me. Number 9, the Mercedes CLA. Now, this one is particularly interesting because both markets get the exact same imported vehicle. There's no local assembly, no factory advantage for either side. Shipping distance is roughly comparable, so you'd think the prices would be close. Right? Wrong, so wrong. Mainland China doesn't even sell the 180 version anymore. So we're comparing the 220 model in Taiwan, 2,250,000 NT, no discounts at all. That's 47,900 USD. In mainland China, the official sticker is 34,900 exactly, a $13,000 gap right on paper. Now, just 2 or 3 years ago, mainland dealers had no discounts either. You even had to pay extra for mandatory add-ons and dealer-installed nonsense like floor mats and window tints that cost a fortune. But this year, the discount is over $11,000, bringing the final purchase price under $24,000. And even with that huge cut, they only sell about 100 units a month. You know why? Because for the same $30-something thousand, Chinese buyers can choose from a whole lineup of domestically made cars that absolutely crush the claw in every category, like the Denza Z9 GT or the Nio ET5. These are B segment or above with better design, better powertrains, better materials, better everything. Once you test drive those, the CLA feels like a museum piece, like something from a different era. Now, I know some purists will say, you can't compare a gas-powered Mercedes to an electric Chinese car. Fine, let's talk about the Z9 DD Flash Edition, 880 kilometers of range on paper, 9-minute fast charge. Even if real-world range drops to 500 kilometers, that's still more than enough to drive from Taipei to Kaohsiung. That's about 350 kilometers, and you'd still have plenty left for city driving. Plus, Taiwan's warm, subtropical climate means less battery degradation. So EVs actually perform better there than in colder regions like, say, the northern US. Imagine how awesome it would be if those Chinese EVs were available in Taiwan. As for the CLA electric version, well, outside of Tesla, every single joint venture or imported EV Porsche Taycan, Ferrari, all of them, are treated in mainland China as overpriced status symbols for people who don't know any better. That's not my opinion, that's the market reality. And that reality is completely inverted in Taiwan, where those same cars are still treated like gold. Number 8, still Mercedes. The Clio sold 980 units in Taiwan. This one's also fully imported, no local production. Mainland China doesn't have a direct domestic competitor at this exact size and price point. The Tank 700 and Hongqi EHS9 are in the $50,000 range, while the Yangwang U8 is a 100 grand vehicle. So with less direct competition, discounts are smaller. Taiwan doesn't have the 350 version, so we compare the 450 mainland sticker, 83,900 USD, with a dealer discount of about 15,000, final price 69,000. That's 3,240,000 NT. In Taiwan, the sticker is 4,110,000 NT after a 20,000 NT discount. That's 83,000 US dollars, the gap. Only $14,000, which compared to the others on this list is actually the smallest difference. It's still a ripoff. Don't get me wrong, but if I were a Taiwanese buyer, this would be the one I'd complain about the least. And that's saying something because $14,000 is still a lot of money. 7th place, the BMW X3, sold 1,495 units in Taiwan. On the mainland, this is a massive hit, about 7,000 units a month on average. BMW actually had the good sense to start cutting prices proactively a couple years ago. They saw the writing on the wall. They knew that if they didn't get competitive, they'd get crushed by domestic brands. Take the 25LM Sport version, the official price dropped from $39,600 to $31,800, and then they added another $7,000 plus discount, bringing the actual purchase price to about $24,000. In Taiwan, they only offer the 20 version and the M50, so we compare the 20M price, 2,770,000 NT. Minus a 12,000 NT discount, final 2,650,000, that's 56,200 USD, exactly double the mainland price. $56,000 in China. That gets you a base BMW X5. Or if you switch to Audi, a fully loaded top trim Q7. So Taiwanese buyers are paying X5 money for an X3. As an American, I can tell you if BMW tried that in the US, dead get laughed out of the market. Americans would just walk across the street to the Lexus or Acura dealer and never look back. But in Taiwan, there's no alternative. So people just take it. The Lexus UX sold 1,659 units. This car has already been discontinued in mainland China. Why? Because even as a pure import, it couldn't compete. With $25,000 in your pocket in China, you've got the Xiaomi SU7, the Wenji M6, the GGR7, the Bio 5, the Tank 300, so many choices that the X3, GLC, and Q5 keep dropping their prices just to stay relevant. The UX couldn't handle the price war, so they pulled the plug and let the NX take over. But in Taiwan, low competition plus Toyota's near religious status lets them price the UX at $1,499,000 NT. After discount $1,399,000, that's $29,700 USD, nearly $30,000 for a fancy rebadged GHR. Let that sink in. $30,000 for a compact crossover that's essentially a Toyota with a nicer badge and slightly better leather. As an American, I look at that and think, you could get a fully loaded Honda CR-V or a base Tesla Model 3 for that money, or you could get a used Porsche Macan. It's just not a rational decision. Now we hit the top 5, and finally a pure EV, number 5, the Tesla Model 3, sold 2,282 units. Now, personally, I don't really consider Tesla a true luxury brand, because in my book, luxury isn't just about acceleration and software, it's about materials, fit and finish, sound insulation, ride comfort, and interior quality. And let's be honest, Tesla interiors are like a minimalist apartment. Some people love it. Some people call it bare bones chic. It's not a Mercedes S-Class interior, that's for sure. But hey, if you like that style, more power to you. In mainland China, the Model 3 moves about 16,000 units a month, going toe-to-toe with the Xiaomi SU7. Taiwan price, $1,749,000 NT. That's $37,100 USD. Compare that to the mainland long-range rear-wheel drive version at $25,900 and $11,200 gap. The performance version in Taiwan, $2,337,000 NT 40, $9,600 USD. At that price in China, you can almost get the SU7 Ultra or the Lotus Amaya, both of which are track-capable monsters that can lap the Nürburgring. So yeah, the Model 3's price gap isn't the worst on this list, but let's not forget the American-built Teslas actually have worse build quality than the German-made ones. That's a well-documented fact. Panel gaps, paint issues, interior rattles. It's a thing. So Taiwan is paying more for an inferior product. That's not a deal, that's a punishment. And as an American, that embarrasses me a little because we can do better than that. Number 4, the Mercedes GLC sold 2,496 units in Taiwan. Taiwan offers only the 200 and 300 versions, while mainland China starts with the 260 mild hybrid. We'll compare the 300 model mainland sticker, 42,200 USD. Now, the GLC used to be untouchable. Back in 2019, the base 200 version was 39,400 with zero discounts, plus mandatory dealer add-ons. So the stripper version cost nearly $50,000 out the door. At that time, middle-aged business guys in China would buy the GLC as their default upgrade car. It was a status symbol, then came 2020, and the Li Auto 1 showed up. That made those same business buyers stop and think, do I really want to spend 40-something grand on a low-end GLC just to show off the badge, or should I get a comfortable 6-seat, fully loaded Chinese luxury EV for my family? That was the first crack in the GLC's armor. By 2022, discounts were already $3,000. Then the Wenji M7 came along, and that was a body blow to Mercedes because those same business guys all use Huawei phones, and when they switch cars, they naturally look at the Wenji. Once they test drive it, the GLC feels like a horse-drawn carriage. Mercedes had no choice. They expanded discounts, canceled the 200 version entirely, and dropped the 260 sticker to $35,200. But even that didn't save sales. They fell below $7,000 a month. Right now, discounts exceed $10,000 in many regions. The 300 version, which corresponds to Taiwan's model, now sells for $32,000 or $30,000 with financing. Compare that to Taiwan, and the gap is a staggering $37,600 US. That's $1,770,000 NT. You could buy a whole second GLC with that difference. And when the GLC drops, it pushes down the X3, which then forces the Q5 and XT5 even lower. That's the beauty of competition. It keeps automakers honest in Taiwan. They don't have that pressure, so they just keep laughing all the way to the bank. Third place, the Lexus RX, sold 3,190 units. Taiwan offers 10 different versions. The best-selling 350 top-grade model is priced at 2,068,000 NT. After a 15,000 NT discount, that's 53,700 USD. Mainland China has no pure gas version anymore. So we compare the 350H flagship Taiwan, 3,050,000 NT after discount, 61,500 USD. Now, 5 or 6 years ago, Lexus was a cult brand in China. People paid markups of several $1,000s, and the final price was actually close to Taiwan's level, but in the last 2 years, that temple collapsed. Today, the comparable all-wheel drive pure enjoyment version has a sticker of 47,900, and it's already dropped into the 39,000 range. That's a 22,500 gap between the two markets. And I expect it to drop even further in the second half of the year because the new ES facelift failed miserably. The whole brand's sales are sliding, and they have to use other models to make up the volume. So Taiwanese buyers are still paying premium prices for a brand that's losing its luster everywhere else. That's not a smart purchase. That's paying for yesterday's reputation. Runner-up still Lexus. The NX sold 6,559 units. Last year, they sold over 11,000. So this year's number is actually conservative. Taiwan really, really loves Lexus, but in mainland China. The $30,000 segment is absolute warfare. The cheapest 200 front-wheel drive version has a sticker of 29,900. But outside of Guangdong province, it's discounted to about 22,000. That's 1,030,000 NT. In Taiwan, the elite version sticker is 1,710,000 NT. After a 15,000 discount, that's 1,056,030, 3,000 USD. The gap is about $11,000, which, compared to the others, is almost reasonable, but almost reasonable is not the same as fair. It's still overpriced for what you get. And the champion, no surprise whatsoever, the Tesla Model Y. Sold 8,509 units, completely dominating the chart. Taiwan imports this from Germany. So shipping costs are higher. Sticker price, 1,899,000 NT, that's 40,300 USD. Mainland rear-wheel drive version, 26,300 to $14,000 gap. But here's where it gets even worse. The specs aren't even the same. Taiwan's motor is 205 kilowatts with a 60 kilowatt hour battery. Mainland China's is 220 kilowatts with a 62.5 kilowatt hour battery. The all-wheel drive version, mainland China, 331 kilowatts, 78 kilowatt hours. Selling for 31,300 USD, Taiwan, 280 kilowatts. Same 78 kilowatt hours priced at 2,299,000 NT, 48,800 USD. That's a 17,500 gap. Why? Because Taiwan still offers a performance version. So they deliberately nerf the regular all-wheel drive to push buyers toward the more expensive trim. It's a classic upsell trick, and Taiwanese buyers have no real alternative. So they're paying more for less car. That's not a market, that's a captive audience. So here's the big picture. These are the top 10 luxury vehicles in Taiwan province for the first half of the year. Across the board, same brands, same models, but mainland China and Taiwan are in completely opposite situations. Mainland China has been through the fire-intense competition, brutal price wars, and the rise of domestic EVs that actually outperform the imports on almost every metric that forced foreign brands to swallow their pride, drop their prices, and actually earn their customers. In Taiwan, it's the exact opposite. Prices are sky high. Choices are limited. And consumers are stuck paying a luxury tax for mediocre products. The dealers have no incentive to compete because they know Taiwanese buyers don't have many other options. That's what a closed market does. It punishes the consumers. And as an American, I've seen this movie before. When there's no competition, companies get lazy. When there's no competition, prices go up and quality goes down. When there's no competition, consumers lose. It's basic economic supply and demand, but without the supply side competition, demand just gets exploited. And here's my honest take as an American observer. Taiwan has great climate conditions for EVs, warm weather, decent infrastructure, short driving distances. So why on earth are Taiwanese consumers still putting up with these overpriced, under-spec'd imports? If the market were more open, if those mainland Chinese EVs were allowed in, you'd see prices crash overnight and the quality would actually be better. That's what real competition does. It forces manufacturers to innovate and charge fair prices. Without it, they just take your money and laugh. I'm not saying mainland China has a perfect market. No market is perfect. But on this specific issue, the difference is night and day. Taiwanese consumers deserve better than what they're getting right now. They deserve real choices, real competition, and real value for their hard-earned money. And from where I am sitting, the only thing standing between them and that better deal is a closed market that protects sellers, not buyers. So for us, whether we're in the US, China, or anywhere else, open competition is the only thing that keeps these companies honest. And Taiwan's consumers deserve better than what they're getting right now. Period. That's not politics. That's just common sense. It's the same principle we apply here in the US when we talk about antitrust laws, consumer protection, and fair trade. If you don't have competition, you don't have fairness. All right, that's the full breakdown for today. I know it was a long one, but I wanted to make sure you had all the numbers and all the context. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. Do you think Taiwanese buyers are getting ripped off? Would you pay these prices? Let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.